Well, of course, we're excited for summertime. Has been here for a few months now, I guess, really. But one of the great things about this summer is live music festivals are back. And while we've already seen some here in the Sarnia-Lambton area, there's more to come this weekend. The Revelree Music Festival is going to be here, featuring, of course, Big Wreck, Blue Rodeo, and others. And lead of this organization for the festival, Scott Palko. Thanks for joining me here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dave.
What in the world possessed you and others to want to put on a music festival?
That's a question I get quite regularly. But honestly, we were fortunate enough, a couple of people on our team, to be involved in some of the concerts we used to have out of the old Stokes Bay, now Big Family, and Patty Flaherty's. We did Get the Ball Rolling and Summer Never Ends concerts, and had a chance to bring some bands in to those shows, and we did some good fundraising. So we did those. We loved the experience. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, we thought, could we do something a little bit bigger, and could we possibly do it inside Canatera Park? And so from there, the idea sort of just gained steam, and one thing after another led us to put a plan together. And COVID, like everything and everyone, held things up a bit. But here we are now, finally able to do it, and we couldn't be more excited for it.
Yeah, well, it is a super exciting event. I mean, you've got some great acts coming along. But one thing I've noticed here, which I don't think you see a lot of, you've got like 7 bands on each day. That's a lot of music going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of music. Our production team, I'm sure, probably curses us a little bit for trying to get so many bands through. But no, it's, we really, a big focus for us is just wanting to showcase as many bands as possible and give people great value for their ticket, and really create that festival environment that, come spend the day, spend the night, whatever it might be. And you might love every band. You might only, you might not have heard of some. So it gives you both an opportunity to hear some new music, enjoy some bands that you're familiar with, and just have an overall festival experience. So that's what we're going for.
Yeah, well, let's talk about some. Obviously, Blue Rodeo, I mean, wow, to have them come back this way after so many years. Like, boy, I go back to the 90s on that one when, of course, Try was one of their big hits. And it's nice to see these guys are still going on.
They're, it's funny. They just put in a new album, actually, the beginning of this year, I think, and end of last year. And so they're making great music. They love to tour. They actually haven't played Sarnia in a very long time.
Yeah.
And, we think for a first year festival to have them headlining and that sort of beautiful summer night, Blue Rodeo takes the stage. And from everything I've seen, I've been fortunate enough to see them. They put on an incredible show.
Right on. Well, and of course, Big Wreck. I mean, what can we say about them? They're just a huge attraction, always. So looking forward to that. Donovan Woods, nice to see him in the lineup there as well.
Yep, we're lucky to have Donovan. He played some shows in Imperial in April, but he's got his festival set up, and it's an upbeat show. It's got lots of energy in it, and he's been doing some amazing things. Just around North America. He's going on a big European tour in the fall, so. The timing worked out, so we're lucky to have them.
Yeah, and of course we've got a list of others there that we obviously don't have time to talk about all of them, but some familiar names, some new names. That's on the Saturday night, of course, but let's go back to the day before on the Friday. I got to tell you, I'm really excited for this one myself too. Death from Above 79, because they kind of parted ways for a while, I think, and now they're back again.
Yeah, not only are they back, but they're one of those bands that I have not seen much. So I'm excited for that, but I've listened to their stuff, but they
lots of energy there,
tons of energy, and they've been around, and they are just this classic duo that can just put on a great rock show and keep the crowd going. So I'm excited to see them, and they've been around for a bit. And then the rest of the lineup, we're looking at. Really what we're going to do year over year is have the opportunity to showcase some emerging artists and, artists that are really trying to make a name for themselves. And so that's kind of how we round out that list. And there are some unbelievable acts on there that if you haven't seen them, these are some bands you're going to hear a lot about. Couple from Sarnia, even Corey James is making a name. Their band's making a name for themselves, doing some
Can't
great
wait
shows.
to see Corey James Mitchell Band again. They're just so fantastic.
Oh, they do a phenomenal show. And so, No Bro out of Montreal is an all-female rock band and rock group, and they they crush, man. Like they're unbelievably good, and so we're very excited to have them take the stage. And Honest Heart from Thunder Bay, Goodnight Sunrise from Toronto, and then Bad Men Association Caden from Sarnia. So honestly, it's just overall we're going back to your question, but why do we do something like this? Like, the team are music fans, and we're excited to see these acts. Like, obviously, there's a lot that goes into shows like this, but we're very, very, very excited for the lineup that we have, because we think there's going to be a lot of high energy.
You've obviously had a lot of groups to choose from, but you've got to narrow it down. Well, I don't know, you narrowed it down to 7 instead of 4 or whatever, right? But that process actually takes quite a bit of time to narrow it down. It's like who's on tour, who's available. Of course, cost is involved in everything. Would you agree with that? Was a tough process to go through to decide who are we going to get?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the question we get a lot is, well, who were you considering, or who were you going to bring in? And we really start with a blank, sort of whiteboard, and we say, okay, let's blue sky it. Who would we like to have in, and everything else, and then you come up with a list of, it could be anywhere from 50 to 100 different band names, and then you sort of say, okay, what they fit into a certain cost category, as you're saying, and then you look at routing and availability, and a lot of the paring down is done for us, because bands, either they're booked in advance, if they have a tour planned, there's a lot of things that go into it, right? So, I'm going to knock on some wood here, but we got very lucky that when we sat down and looked at what our ideal lineup might be, what we're seeing here is pretty close to what we had initially set out to look at, and so we're very fortunate.
Awesome. I know there's going to be a lot of vendors there as well. Obviously that's you got to have the food, and I know the beverages are going to be flowing there as well. But there's a give back part of this Revelree Music Festival as well, right?
Absolutely. You can't do an event like this without support from the community, and so we've got a number of charities that we've partnered with that we're looking to give some money back to, and proceeds from the event to support. So we've got St. Clair Taekwondo is doing a lot of volunteering for us and helping with the bar and whatnot. Pathways Health Center for Children is also helping some volunteers, and the John Howard Society. Again, these organizations are providing us some support to help with whether it's tickets or information or whatever it may be, and then we're able to then take the proceeds from the event and turn around and put that money back in the community.
Yeah. And especially for this area, I mean, Sarnia, Lambton County is, I'm sure you would agree, like most do, such a giving community, a supportive community. And what a better way to do it? I mean, purchase the ticket. You're going to purchase the ticket anyway. So some of that money is going to go back to local organizations that are still trying to survive the longest 2 weeks of our life, right? So,
right.
Things going well, though. Everything's, there's always some hiccups along the way, but I mean, it wouldn't be any fun if it just happened, right? So
yeah, exactly.
But things are coming together. I mean, we're putting this out today. This is Tuesday, and you've got tomorrow, Wednesday. You've got things are starting to show up, and that's where the setting up process begins, right?
That's absolutely right. So, yeah, actually, we've been, it's funny, these events, we actually decided in May of 21 that we were going to go ahead and just commit to doing it this year. So, that sort of process happens for 12 months. You get it all set up, and no matter how well prepared you are, there's nothing like festival week,
like a really big wedding.
Yeah. That's a great way of saying it. So, there's no shortage of things to be done, and yep, there's always a hiccup here and there, but I've got a great team, and truthfully, we've been fortunate so far that things are running pretty smoothly. Tomorrow, we get the stage dropped off and the fencing, and then Thursday set up, and so it's just it's about to be a pretty big whirlwind here for the next few days, but it's exciting, and we're lucky. Things are coming together really well.
For sure. Okay, let's talk about some logistics so people understand too, Scott. Parking, that sort of thing, do's and do nots inside. Like let's go through the list.
For sure. So yeah, parking. So the park is still open to the public, other than the venue itself, which is the open green field in Canatera. So there's going to be people using the park as well as festival goers. So we just ask people to just be mindful when parking. So the lots are open. We have one part of one lot that's for staff and volunteers, but otherwise Parking is open to the public. There's going to be a lot of foot traffic, so just be aware when driving through the park.
Right.
That, lots of pedestrians. And then, the stage will be at the north end of the park, facing south. So the south end of the green field is the main gate. Lake Chippewa Drive between the two roundabouts is going to be closed off, so it'll be foot traffic only.
Okay.
And then, so in terms of coming in, it is an all ages show. Kids under 10 can get in for free. There's tickets available at the door. So if, friends are going, you say, oh, I don't have a ticket. Nope, that's okay. We'll be selling them at the door. There's cash transactions and credit debit machines for merch, beer tickets, everything. So there's no ATM. So just so people are aware that on site, there's no ATM, but you have access to credit and debit. And then, in terms of one question we get a lot of, are there lawn chairs? There are designated seating areas. So if you have a lawn chair or a blanket, even GA, bring a lawn chair. And then the other thing we get asked a lot is re-entry. Unfortunately, like a lot of festivals, there is no re-entry. That's just more of that's a safety protocol more than anything. It's just we want to make sure everyone who's attending has a very safe and comfortable time, and to manage people coming in and out, unfortunately, is something that we can't offer. So there's no in and out once you're in, but we have food vendors. There's going to be some games, to keep yourself busy. There's going to be some picnic areas. We've got water that's available for free. We want to make sure everyone stays hydrated. So we'll have a couple of water tents that we can offer.
Water hydrated, folks.
Yeah, exactly. The other type of hydration is also available. It is a fully licensed event. So we've got all that going on. And
couldn't pick a hotter weekend.
Oh my goodness, I know. It's a blessing and a curse. On one hand, people will be thirsty, and on the other, they're going to have to sit in some shade. But
what about smoking?
Yeah, so there's designated smoking areas inside of the venue. Yeah, so we've got that. You'll see those when you walk through the gates and whatnot, and everything's going to be well signed. We've got beer tickets, drink tickets, and then you'll be able just to go to the bar and get a drink if you need to, and again, credit debit. So you can't. I mean, really, it's you can't bring in coolers. You can't bring in.
Obviously,
if you're going to bring in a water bottle, it's got to be empty. Those types of things. But honestly, we're really want to make an effort to make sure that everyone has a really good experience and a good time and gets value for their dollars. So. We're going to try it out, and anything
seems like good value with all the 7 bands each day. Like you got 14 bands going on, and who knows? Sometimes the crowd's the entertainment too. So you got a piece of that in there, and I'm happy to be there. I'm going to be there. We'll be flying around and doing some social media and live broadcasting and stuff. So we're going to give everybody a good time. Maybe give them some sneak peek behind the scenes whenever we can. So looking forward to that as well. Ticket sales going really well, but like VIP is like what, 75-80% sold out?
Yeah, even a little bit more than that. We're getting near the end of it. So if you want some VIP tickets, grab them soon. If not, there's still plenty of GA tickets. But they're going very well. It's going to be a good time. We're going to get a few thousand people in the park at least, and to have a good time.
Awesome. All right. Well, I've got something to do, but before I do, is there anything else you want to add in there that we want to make sure people know about?
No, honestly, we're looking forward to a great weekend. Appreciate the time with you. And the only thing I'd say is, Friday, if you're unsure about coming, it's $20 to get in and see some of these bands. And some of these bands are going to be huge names in a couple of years. So we encourage people to come down and check them out.
Awesome. And you can go to revelrymusicfestival.com, go online to get your tickets for that. Don't wait. Like they said, they're selling. But in the meantime, we're going to have a ticket giveaway, folks. We've got a general admission weekend passes, right, that we're going to give away?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So we'll do that. Look for a post on my Facebook page separate from this video. But one of the things you'll need to do is share this video. So if you're watching right now, click the share button so we can spread the word about the Revelree Music Festival, and you'll increase your chances of winning weekend passes. Scott, thanks to you and the Revelree Music Festival team. I know you'll be looking for some much needed rest after, but I got a feeling it's all going to be worth it.
No, I appreciate it, Dave. Thanks for the time. We're looking forward to a great weekend.
Thank you.